Get this mic set up. Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Drew. What it do? Today we're doing a 2K Sunday Q&A. I mean, the fact that all that rhymed, I mean, that's just beautiful. It's meant to be. So I want this video to be relatively candid. Before we get into the video, I want to thank you guys so much for allowing me to reach 2K subs on YouTube. It's been an unbelievable last like 7 months to get to 2K, and so I'm really pleased with the growth on the channel, and I'm really appreciative of you guys. I hope that I can continue to entertain, educate, and just conversate with you guys for years and years to come. It's been a lot of fun doing this YouTube thing. I see no end in sight. So there are 24 questions that I'm going to be answering from you guys that I got from either the IG poll or the community tab on the YouTube app. And so I'm really excited to share with you guys my answers. Without further ado, let's get into question number 1. I am going to have the questions on my phone. So question number 1 is, how did you get into fashion? So I really got into fashion through sneakers, right? When I was in high school, I played a lot of basketball. I was a basketball player. And so for me, like, I always prided myself on wearing relatively nice sneakers on the basketball court. And you know, there's an old saying, like, if you look good, you play good. If you play good, you get paid good, essentially, right? And so I kind of just took that mentality off the court after I kind of went through high school. It wasn't really early on in high school when I felt like that. It was more towards my junior and senior year. I started growing up and just started caring about what I look like, man. And so I try to find things that were unique within fashion, within sneakers. And you know, as I've grown from a junior in high school all the way up to now being a college grad, a grown person, like, just the interest and the love has grown, man. So yeah, that's kind of where it started, how I got into it. It starts with sneakers, and it kind of just blossomed from there with so many different other things that I'm into at this point. My guy Adrian asked me, what's the most accomplishing thing you have done so far on this journey? I'm going to take that question as, you know, what's the most satisfying thing? What's the thing that I've kind of enjoyed the most on this journey? So to answer that question, man, a lot of you guys know I have my own brand. I post content on, you know, Instagram, and I have my own podcast. And within my brand, I have my own publication, and I do a lot of things, right? So there's a lot of things that I feel like I have done, you know, that are taking my life to a place where I never expected it to be, really. And so the most satisfying thing for sure, though, has been the ability to inspire others. At the end of the day, no matter like what your job is, what your role is, whether mine's, obviously I've decided to choose fashion. And for me, like, fashion is just a vehicle for me to inspire and to cultivate positive change in the world for others. And I truly believe that, not to be all sentimental and everything, but I truly believe that. And even though it's clothing, right, like, it's not something that's very deep, it can have an impact on the world in a positive way if I'm always spreading peace, love, and positivity. And even people who reach out to me in the DM and say, Drew, like, I watch your videos all the time, and like, it keeps me up, it keeps me positive, keeps me going strong, like, that is like huge to me. That's really the biggest accomplishment I can say that I've accomplished in the last year of, you know, talking about fashion, building my own brand, building a podcast. It's being able to help other people and being able to have positive change or affect positive change to other people. Dariano asked me, got any suggestions for pants/jeans for us taller, lanky guys? Them pants always too short. They really are. For me, I would say, you know, the pant that I'm in love with, or the pants that I'm in love with right now, are workwear pants. They're definitely some of my all-time favorite pants, and really what's gotten me into pants and wearing pants, because before I kind of hated wearing like straight cut pants and just pants in general. But so to name a few, obviously I talk about Dickies 874s all the time. Those look really great on a lot of taller guys. They look great on me, I feel like. Levi 501's an American classic. Can't go wrong with those. Carhartt Ripstop Cargos are a great pant as well. Cargo pants for the summertime are a little bit tougher. There's also a lot of great options at the thrift store. I actually thrifted a really nice dress pant, a 100% wool dress pant that looks just fantastic, really lightweight, I'm gonna be wearing it all summer. So find thrift store finds, or if you can find things at the thrift store, that will definitely improve the fits and the outfits for the summertime, especially for their taller people. Juiced Us or Just Us asked me what is supposed to drop next for EJ and when. So we are actually in the works. We're in the midst of working on finalizing the next thing we're gonna do for Edward Joyner. This week I'm planning to go to a undisclosed area of Colorado. I don't want to ruin the surprise for you guys, but essentially we're gonna be doing some really fun summer items, some bottoms, some shorts that we're gonna be doing, and so the shorts should be coming out May 14th. So mark your calendars for May 14th. They're so limited. So if you really want a pair of Edward Joyner EJ shorts, be sure to subscribe to our mailing list, because I feel like these are going to do really well for us, and there just aren't that many. So if you really are interested, sign up to the mail list, get early access, and be on your nines the day they drop. William asked me, do you know any small sustainable brands in Europe? Congrats with the 2K. Man, thank you for saying the congratulations to the 2K. I appreciate that. In terms of small sustainable brands in Europe, the brand that kind of comes to mind first when it comes to sustainable brands from Europe is Story MFG. And Story MFG is, don't quote me, let me look it up. Let me look up where they're from exactly again. So yeah, it says Story MFG is founded in London, or based in London. So I don't know where you are in Europe, but Story MFG is a fantastic brand that's sustainable. Honestly, I wish I could just only shop at Story MFG because of how seriously they take sustainability and sustainable practices. Absolutely beautiful brand. They do beautiful photography. And I have the Reebok Club C, as you guys have probably seen or haven't seen if you haven't seen the video. But yeah, Story MFG is a dope brand for sure. That is, Europe based and sustainable. That's a little bit smaller, not really too small. I wish I knew more smaller brands. It's hard to know smaller brands in a foreign land. So the next question is, used to dress for utility and want to learn about fashion. How do I start? And I think this is a really great question, because the question is very similar to like, how do you find your style, right? And I think for anybody who wants to find their style or trying to create a style or whatever they're trying to do in terms of fashion, I think you just have to start trying things that you're interested in. Don't overthink it, right? What you like is what you like, and don't let other people tell you that you shouldn't wear this or you should wear this or this is what you need. There's a lot of messaging and a lot of marketing going on from everything from a brand to your friends to Instagram or TikTok or whatever, right? But for me, like, my number one advice to anyone who wants to learn about fashion, get into fashion, just consume a lot of fashion content, man. This goes for anybody. If you want to learn about a style or learn about a styling, there are so many tools out there nowadays. Whether you can look up different things on YouTube, you can look up different things on Instagram, connect with different people in different Discords or different Reddit pages, and there's just so much. And so, depending on what style you want to kind of learn about and what you want to kind of dive into, just start with what you like, man. It could be the weirdest one-off brand that no one knows about, but if you like it and you rock it with confidence, then like, that's your steez. Like, that's gonna bring you happiness, and that's what you should do, right? So when it comes to learning about fashion, building your own fashion, kind of trust your gut, I feel like, and then kind of go from there, whatever direction that may be, whether it be looking things up on the internet or reading books, or it could even be watching TV shows or, whatever, going on Pinterest, like whatever, man. It's just have that hunger and that willingness or that desire to figure out what you want to do and then attack it or go after it. The next question is, what are your top 5 shoes that go with every outfit? Number 1, we gotta have the 990 V4s. Definitely go with everything I wear. My most worn shoe, my favorite shoe without a doubt. Number 2, I have New Balance 327 Aspen Yellow. These are really beautiful, and they pretty much go with every outfit that I wear. 327s, if you can get them, you can get them in a more neutral colorway, and these are beautiful. We have Vans. Literally go with everything. If Vans is not really your style, man, then so be it. But I love just throwing on a quick, clean pair of Vans. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much go with whatever. Represent Raptor Lows in the vintage white colorway. Absolutely beautiful shoe. A shoe that goes with everything. Kind of replaces like maybe like a Air Force One or some other Jordan or Nike model, but I don't really wear a lot of Jordans or Nikes. And then last but not least, I would say New Balance 992 in a gray colorway, which would pretty much go with everything. I know it's a little bit more of expensive of a shoe right now because of resale, but those are my 5 shoes that go with every single outfit. Like, you can throw them on with whatever and you're set to go to have a good day, man. My man Miko asked me top 3 sneakers in your collection. These are definitely my number 1. Love 990 V4s, can't go wrong with them. GR colorways. They're going up in resale a little bit, but I love this shoe for sure. For number 2, I'm gonna go with the bootleg Empire City High version 2s. Definitely a top sneaker in my collection, especially because Ray, I knew Ray's process when he made these, and just talking to Ray about them, and I don't know, these are just really beautiful shoes. Sorry about the lighting right there. And number 3, we have the New Balance times Aimé Leon d'Or 1300s in the botanical green colorway. I never had a pair of 1300s before. These are really beautiful shoes. I love these shoes, and surprisingly comfortable. Like this, I was talking about this sock liner in the video. Very, very comfortable shoe to wear, and just, I don't know, you don't see a lot of people wearing this shoe or wearing 1300s where I'm from. So yeah. Another great dude, Don Green, asked me dream collab for EJ. That's a tough one actually. I've been literally sitting here for like 5 minutes thinking about the answer to this question. It's a tough question because honestly, the fact that I even have a brand the fact that I have a brand is a dream, honestly. So like, to me, like if I had to do a footwear collab, I think like I would want to hit the big ones, which are like, I would love to do a collaboration with Vans. Would love to do one with New Balance, and would love to do one with Adidas. Not as much like caring. I don't really care as much to do one with Nike. I would really more so to do one with one of those other 3 brands. In terms of like non-footwear, I would love to collaborate with my peers. You know what I mean? I'd love to collaborate with people who are also creating really awesome stuff. So, you know, whether that's Oray, or is collaborating with like ALD or something like that, or something I have thought about often is being able to collaborate with like a video game, right, and have my clothing inside of a virtual world or a video game like a GTA or a Cyberpunk or something like that. That would be really cool, just to be kind of embedded into the gaming world. I love playing video games, so I don't know, there's a lot of possibilities. It's hard to narrow down one dream collab, but hopefully, you know, that answers your question. My man Ben asked, what's one fashion trend or brand you wore in the past that makes you cringe now? And to be honest, that is an easy one for me to answer, and that is Supreme. I used to be such a fanboy of Supreme. I didn't really, invest in Supreme so much, but kind of talking about how I got into fashion, like when I first thought about fashion, I always thought like Supreme was like the pinnacle. I always thought that Supreme was like the best of the best. And I can't remember what year exactly, but the Supreme Louis Vuitton collab. And I was like, well, these are so cool. Like, these pieces are so cool. Like, everything Supreme does is so cool. And looking back on it now, it's like, I don't feel the same way about it. And it's because the brand is really for skaters. I wasn't really a skater. I mean, it didn't resonate with me on a personal level. I just understood it to be like a cool thing. And so I liked it. And that's no way to really go about finding your style, finding your fashion. So Supreme is definitely something I look back on. I had a few things that I had from Supreme, and I would never wear them today. So Gang Over Love asked me, what questions do you hate being asked? There are no questions I hate being asked. There hasn't been a question that someone's asked that's inappropriate or out of pocket or anything like that. So shout out to y'all for that. Y'all been really respectful, and I appreciate you. My man asked, what's the most comfortable piece of clothing you have that's also sort of high-end but also not? Now, for me, I don't really buy as much high-end stuff as you guys probably think. Like, the most comfortable piece of clothing that I have are definitely, they're probably these corduroy trousers that I have. These are super, super comfortable, and I actually got them from my pops. They're probably from like the 80s, and they're just some nice threads to have. Just a vintage pair of corduroy trousers that were essentially free to me are probably the most comfortable thing I can wear, besides like a t-shirt, you know what I mean? Like, there isn't many things that I have that are very high end. I would say I'm not a very high end type of buyer unless it comes to sneakers, you know what I mean? The man Josh asked me, what's a future style you want to experiment with but haven't yet for whatever reason? That's a good question, and I don't know if I have a direct style, quote unquote, that I want to pursue, but you know, I wear a lot of sneakers. I have worn a lot of sneakers for the past 3 years or so. And so I think for me, like, I think I want to diversify my footwear, right? Whether it be, you know, things such as loafers or boots or Doc Martens, or just different things that I can wear to, you know, dress up or dress more casually, kind of go within the flow of that. Like I said, I have a lot of sneakers, and so for me, like, just kind of growing up a little bit with my footwear and, you know, buying some things that also are a little bit more, you know, adult other than sneakers. I'm always gonna have a love for sneakers, but I'm definitely, you know, playing with and flirting with different boot options and different footwear options. So yeah. My man Ray asked me, what do you think will be the next big fashion trend? Man, that is a tough question. I think that there are a couple things I feel like that are developing in fashion right now that could potentially be new movements or new trends. Obviously, the idea of sustainability is something that's been at the forefront for a long time, and hopefully that'll continue to be something that is a trend and people continue to just have sustainable products, right? It's always hard to predict trends and give predictions, but I'm gonna give you guys a bold prediction on a couple of things. I think the dunk hype will decline in the year 2021, towards the end of the year 2021. I think right now we don't have a new up and coming kind of artist or designer who's really pulling a lot of hype towards them, but I do think that someone like Lil Yachty or something like that could potentially get a collaboration with a brand, could potentially create something that, you know, pulls attention towards it. And I think Lil Yachty is an interesting artist to look at right now in terms of, you know, sneakers and streetwear and things like that I don't think that a lot of people maybe are seeing that, because he does do all these things about, you know, sneaker collections and complex and yada yada yada. So maybe Lil Yachty, he might have something in the works. You never know. When it comes to sneakers, he's a huge fan of sneakers. Why wouldn't he not, you know, want to have his own version of a sneaker? Now, I don't think Lil Yachty in the currency of culture is that up there. Like, you know, he's not Travis Scott by any means, but I think that he could potentially, you know, have his own sneaker, have his own collection or something like that could garner a lot of attention and change the shift that I feel like Travis kind of created with SBs and with dunks that we're in right now. In terms of vintage, in terms of workwear, I think those things will probably always be a thing, just because there's a core group of people who will always be interested in like vintage Levi's and vintage Carhartt and Dickies and things like that. You know, it's cyclical in that manner, right? So yeah, my prediction is, yeah, Lil Yachty might, you know, set the sneaker world at least on fire and draw a lot of attention to maybe a potential collaboration with Nike or Adidas or New Balance or something like that, right? So my man Hugo asked me, how do you see Edward Joyner evolving in the future, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now? I just, you know, honestly, I see Edward Joyner continuing to grow over the next 2, 5, 10 years. For us, like, everything is done at a pretty small scale, right? So hopefully we can continue to scale the business, you know, bring on more creatives, bring on different photographers, work with, you know, really wonderful people. But also for me personally, because I do so much for the brand, you know, I market the brand, I design all the clothing, you know, I sew in the labels, I ship everything out, all those things. Hopefully I can delegate at some point, because you know, that's the purpose of a business, to obviously have others come along and kind of raise your level to an even higher level, right? Sustainability for the brand will always be a big thing, and then we'll always continue to push the boundaries for what products are going to be made and produced by the brand. You know, whether it be accessories, diving down on accessories, or pushing for, you know, more sustainable products other than clothing, because a lot of us know that clothing is one of the most, you know, just unsustainable practices there is. So there's a lot of things I hope and plan for Edward Joyner in the upcoming years. I'm really excited for, right? It's only time will tell, and only the work will tell, man. I got to put a lot of work in, so we'll see what happens. Isabella asks, how to remain confident taking fit pics in public? So I haven't talked about fit pics in a few videos here on the channel, man, but the ability to take fit pics in public is a topic and a conversation I feel like a lot more people are asking about nowadays, and so I love this question. How do you remain confident? Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that, at least for me, what I do is I typically, when I take fit pics in public, there aren't that many people around, right? So I don't try to go to locations where there's a ton of people walking and passing by, and maybe I have the luxury of doing that. The city of Denver has a lot of people, but not like a ton of people. So if you're in like New York or Chicago or bigger cities, whatever, it might be harder for you to find a location that doesn't have a ton of people around. But at the end of the day, when it comes to confidence and taking fit pics when people around, you just gotta say, man, I don't care what anyone thinks about me right now. I have a job to get done. I'm enjoying myself. I want to do this, and I'm gonna do it. Like, you just got to kind of rack your head around that. Like, people may judge me. You know, I'm gonna judge myself harder if I don't do it. Like what's worse? Someone walking by and being like, oh, what is this girl or what is this dude doing? And then never seeing them ever again in your life, or, you know, you being so worried about someone else's thoughts and being paralyzed by fear. I just find a way to mentally tell yourself, you know, I gotta get this done, and if people are gonna judge me, I'm gonna get over it. Hopefully that's not too harsh of advice. Hopefully that's not too harsh. That's just the way I think about it in my brain. Like, I'm just gonna get this done and move on. So my man Ray asked me again, how do you define your style and how do you see it evolving? So I see my style as a mix of a couple things. I think for a lot of the bottoms I've been wearing, pants, trousers, shorts, whatever, it's been a lot of workwear items. So obviously Dickies and Carhartts, a little bit of Americana, and with Americana you have like Levi's and you have varsity jackets. And with the sneakers I wear and what I typically wear on my feet, it's more of an athletic look, more sometimes kind of daddish with the New Balances and things like that. So it's kind of all over the place, right? And I kind of like the way my style is. I don't really want it to be pinned to one idea, whether it be. And I don't want it to just be vintage or just be Americana or just be workwear or just be, you know, kind of a sporty look. I kind of embody all of those things, and I try to pull it together in a sometimes elegant way as well. So that's how I would define it, man. There's an amalgamation of like vintage, Americana, sportiness, and workwear. My man Hugo asked me, are you doing what you love with your different projects and brand? Without a doubt, guys, I do what I love every single day, man. I'm a very humble person, and I have the opportunity to do what I love every single day. This is my full-time, this is what I do full-time, essentially. I work on my brand, you know, I work on YouTube, and I work on creating content on the podcast, and I work on, you know, different elements of the publication for the brand. And that's what I do every single day. And I've given myself, I'm only 23 years old, so I've given myself at least the next few years to just dedicate my life to pursuing the things that I love, pursuing my passions. And I'm fortunate enough to be in that position to do that. You know, I went to university, I went to college, I studied marketing, and I leveled with my parents. I was like, you know, I could get a job in marketing, you know, work for a marketing agency or a marketing firm, but would I be happy? And so the answer to that question is no, not even close. I don't think so. And so being able to do the things that I love to do, talk about the things I get to talk about, it kind of puts this fire in my chest and in my belly to get up and work and grind every day. That's why, like you guys have seen, I posted like a video every day this week, and YouTube videos take like 4 to 7 hours to edit and upload every single day. So I'm at the computer, you know, 7 hours doing that. And then if you guys don't know, I've been really pushing a lot of content on TikTok recently on my TikTok app, which is Drew Joyner Fitted. And I posted, you know, 5 TikToks a day. for the last 5 days, and so I'm working on the brand. I'm definitely doing what I love. And like I said, I've sat down, had the conversation with my parents, and said, let me just do this for the next couple of years, see where it takes me. Let's just see where it takes me. I can always get a job in, marketing, or always get a job in doing whatever else. But for me, doing what I love and having the opportunity to chase my dreams is all I could ever ask for. They're very supportive, and you guys are also helping me achieve my dreams as well. And so I appreciate you guys dearly. Who is your favorite designer and why? Another kind of tough one for me, and it's because I'm a kind of unicorn as I think about fashion. When I think about fashion, I don't think about it from the perspective of a designer. I think about it more so from the perspective of what do brands, the groups of designers really bring to the table. And when I think about the brand that I resonate with the most, it has to be ALD. Aimé Leon Dore is definitely my favorite brand, and there are a ton of designers who go through ALD. There's a ton of people who work for ALD, and what I like about ALD is, obviously garment construction and being able to pull together an outfit and create an outfit out of nothing is really beautiful. The avant-garde style is incredibly creative. But for me personally, I like streetwear. I like the street style aesthetic. So I like graphic tees. I like KAWS, for example. I'm wearing a KAWS tee. I like things like that. And ALD is for me just the pinnacle. It's so clean. They really do a great job of creating moods, creating fits and garmentry that is just unbelievably beautiful and is so authentic to New York and Queens. And yeah, ALD is definitely my favorite brand, and the designers don't really get the recognition. One of the things that's really interesting about ALD is that a lot of people give Teddy Santis the onus of starting the brand, but from just doing a ton of research, I get no indication that Teddy Santis is the individual, designing the graphics for the garments or designing the actual garmentry, right? He's the creative director. He says, this is what I want maybe my video campaign to be about, or what I want my lookbook to be about. And so I know there's a lot of great people on the Aimé Leon Dore team who probably don't get enough credit, and I've looked up all of them on LinkedIn and try to connect with them all on LinkedIn. But there's a ton of people over there who are doing a lot of fantastic work that are beyond Teddy Santis and just do a fantastic job. And I definitely want to tip my hat to them, and those are my favorite designers, the ALD designers. So the next question is top 5 favorite clothing brands at the moment, and obviously ALD is one of them. I don't really buy much from Jound, but Jound is always going to be one of my favorites. I think what Reese Cooper does is fantastic. His brand, Reese Cooper, is super dope. I think I'd throw in the brand St. Ivory NYC, really dope brand out of New York that's female centric and just educates you with every drop. I love that. And then last but not least, I have to throw in my own brand, Edward Joyner, of course. I love my brand. I love my baby, and that's what I consider my brand to be, literally, because so much hours, so much time and work goes into it, and I can see it continue to grow. So it might be a cop-out answer, but love Edward Joyner. Sean asked me favorite fashion brand and movie. So I kind of talked about the fashion brand. Let's talk about movies, man. If you guys have not noticed, I try to put a ton of references in each and every video for different things that I enjoy and different things that I like, man. So I love talking about pop culture. I love talking about those kind of things as well. I would definitely say my favorite movie is Batman The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is definitely my favorite movie. It's tough. I don't want to say like definitively, but in the genre of my favorite types of movies being movies about like superheroes or comic heroes, Batman The Dark Knight is definitely my favorite movie. Just a good movie. I just always like that movie. This is a super fun question from Lauren. She asked me if I could wear one outfit for the rest of my life, what would it consist of? So yeah, I would start with definitely a pair of New Balance 990s. I would have a pair of Levi 501s on, and then I think I would have a Edward Joyner Spring in the Rockies t-shirt on. It's hot right now, and it's summertime, so it's just warm. Maybe it won't work in the wintertime. And then maybe after that, I'd probably just wear beanie, honestly. And just a beanie, like honestly, something that simple. Like I think most of the days I wear, Levi's, a pair of New Balances, and a nice little accessory. I keep it simple. As you guys can see, I'm just wearing a t-shirt right now. It's too hot to be wearing anything else, so that's kind of what I wear. It would be Levi 501s, New Balance 990s, t-shirt, and a hat or accessory. So someone asked me on the YouTube community poll, what made you decide to go on YouTube and do reviews? So I wanted to start doing reviews on YouTube because I thought that there was an opportunity to, one, just talk about something that I was interested in and continually learning about, and two, help other people kind of navigate the same thing I navigated when it came to finding pants in particular, and then also buying sneakers, which I always love buying sneakers. I think the majority of my channel is focused on that. It's about helping people buy pants, fashion in particular, and then talking about sneakers here and there. And then we sprinkle in some other fashion elements. Nothing crazy, really. If you think about my channel, it doesn't really involve any elegant jackets or involve any elegant tops, really. The simplicity of my tops are usually hoodies or t-shirts, and so that's what I enjoy. But I would love to obviously get into better or higher end pieces. I just cannot afford higher end pieces, really. So to answer your question, why I started doing reviews, to help other people talk about what I love. And I think YouTube is a great outlet to continue to grow, my audience for the brand and educate and tell people about my brand. So that's why I started it. Last but not least, someone asked me on the YouTube community tab. It was Edmund. Shout out to my man Edmund. He said, "What sneaker are you looking to pick up next?" So there's a few sneakers I'm actually looking to pick up. There's one sneaker I'm looking to pick up, and then there's one boot, low top boot styling thing that I'm trying to pick up. So I want to pick up the New Balance 992s in gray. Absolutely beautiful. I think those would just fit so well into my dad fits that I try to wear every day. And then I also want to pick up a pair of Doc Martin 1469s. I think it's what it's called. I think my dude Issa was telling me about them. Give me a second. Doc Martin 1461. Sorry. The low top Docs that have laces on them. I think those are really, really beautiful, and I've heard a lot of good things about Docs. Heard a lot that they take a while to break in, but yeah, 992s and Doc Martin 1461s. You'll probably see those at some point on this channel within this year, without a doubt. Other than that, that's pretty much it. In terms of sneakers, obviously I have the E550s in the green and yellow colorway coming in, which I'm really excited about. We have a whole bunch of pickups. We have Edward Joyner shorts that are going to be coming, going to be showcased on the channel. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Sheesh, that was a lot of talking, man. But if you guys made it this far in the video, I appreciate you dearly. On the road to 2K, it's been unbelievable, man. You guys have been an unbelievable audience. It's been nothing but love, and I can't, say thank you enough. Really, I really can't. As always, I'm spreading peace, love, and positivity in 2021. So that means I'm spreading peace, love, and positivity to you, wherever you are in the world. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Much love to everyone. Peace.